All right, it's time for another Josh cast. Good. Trying to get some work done today. I know I've talked about this before, my railing against neckties, but I'm going to talk about it again. I hate them. I hate them. I absolutely hate ties. It's an extra piece of fabric that serves no practical purpose whatsoever. Why do we wear them? I only wear them when I have to. Either I'm at a social function that is black tie only, or I feel like I have to dress up in order to appease somebody or something to get something. So it's a sucking up device for me. That's what it is. I don't like dress. I think some people genuinely enjoy dressing up. It's odd when somebody says, "Hey, you look good in that tie." Why is it that I look good in a tie? Why are you telling me, you know what? It's when you put more clothing on, that's better. Anything extra that you can put on, even though the tie doesn't cover you, the tie is a nice distraction from your physical body. That's what we appreciate. So thank you for doing that. The brighter the colors, the better. What I find fascinating about the tie is that it's a social norm. It's socially accepted. That somebody is on trial for murder. They're in court. They're wearing a tie. Why are they wearing the tie? They're hoping to get off. Yeah, if somebody is on trial for murder and he shows up wearing, cut-off jeans and flip-flops, that would be no good. The jury would be like, "Oh yeah, it's over." No, he totally did it. Well, look at him. That's what, if you want to get convicted, that's what you do. You come to court wearing that. But no, they wear the tie and the jacket, and the hope is that the jury will go, "Well, he looks put together. So even if he killed the person, at least he's got a good fashion sense." I guess what I'm trying to convey to the world is that we don't have to do this to ourselves. If we collectively just agree that we can accept each other for who we are without having to dress up, we wouldn't have to do this. You wouldn't have to take the extra 30 seconds or a minute, or in my case, 5 minutes, to tie a tie and learn the different kinds of knots, which is a useless skill. If you're stuck in the desert and you have no food or water, how am I going to survive? Well, it's a good thing I know how to tie a full Windsor. If I only knew how to tie a half Windsor, I think I might die. It was the full Windsor that saved me. It was the full Windsor that saved me. Here's the thing. If people want to wear a tie because they enjoy how they look in a tie, that should be allowed. But if people don't want to wear a tie, that should also be allowed. If I get invited to your dumb wedding, that's the thing that kills me too. I'm invited to a wedding, and I have to dress up for the wedding. I already have to leave my day. I'm burning a day, maybe more, to come sit there and watch the two of you, I don't know, 50% says you're going to make a terrible choice. 50% says you're going to make a terrible choice but still work through it. And on top of everything else, I got to sit there wearing this suit and tie. I feel like if I'm already being there, if I'm taking time and energy and money out of my own life to be there for you, at the very least, I should be allowed to wear whatever I want. I should be able to come in a full velvet tracksuit. That is totally what I should be able to do. But it is not to be. We have to do all these, we have to adhere to all of these rules in order to function together in a society. And there's all this shared agreement and all these rituals that are agreed upon, not the least of which includes the tie. Obama stopped wearing the tie. He was more casual, and I was hoping that would catch on. We almost got rid of the tie there. We almost got rid of the tie. Because there was a point where, you know, as dressy as we are now, it used to be much worse. You know, doublet and hose and big powdered wigs. But somebody came along somehow with enough influence and got rid of the wigs for us. Now we need someone to do that with the tie. Who is going to be the person who gets rid of the tie? I'm hoping for the Kardashians. I feel like they're the only ones with enough power to somehow go tieless. Maybe Kanye. Maybe it's up to Kanye. You know, there's a certain stretch here on this Magnolia Boulevard where people just don't use crosswalks at all, and they're totally confident. It boggles my mind. It really does. It boggles the mind. Man, I am lethargic. I'm not done with my rant on ties. I'm not done with it. How can someone look good in a tie? Versus how can someone look bad in a tie? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's just it's a strip. It's a piece of cloth. That's a nice tie. It's a smart looking tie. And why is that a compliment? It feels like a backhanded compliment. That's a nice tie. Hey, good job picking a piece of fabric that is not objectionable. I guess you can do that. Lawyers have to wear ties. Politicians wear ties. I almost feel like a tie is what you wear when you're trying to distract people from the lie. I've heard other comedians describe the tie as basically a noose that you have to wear in a job that you hate. I agree with that by and large. When will the tie be a thing of the past? Now here's the other thing that could be even more terrible. What if we go in the opposite direction and formal dress wear becomes even more formal, and we go back to the powdered wigs and the doublet and hose and the ornate vests and the artificial birthmarks? What if that's expected? Oh, God. Go to your friend's wedding, you gotta wear all that crap. The shoes with the big buckles on them. The tights. The pants that only go down to the knees. The only cool thing about that is that if capes come back into style, I'll be on board with that. I'm big on capes. It comes from the superheroes. If I could wear a cape and not get weird looks, I would totally wear a cape. Totally, I would wear a cape. I think ties are going to contribute to the destruction of the world. I think ties are the reason why the world is going to fall apart. You know why? Because everyone that we're listening to who is leading us down the wrong path wears a tie. All the mucky mucks are wearing ties. We see the tie and we go, oh, they are the ones with power. I wonder if somebody cut off a person's tie in the middle of a presidential debate, would that change the outcome? Trump shows up without a tie. Would he lose the debate? No matter what he said, no matter what the other person said. How powerful are these ties? I hate ties. Every bad decision that has been made on a global level was made by a guy who routinely wears a tie. I'm not a fan of ties. I've gone on for nearly 20 minutes about how much I hate ties. I could go on for another 20 minutes about it. I just want to be comfortable. Why is that so much to ask? To just be comfortable? Sooner or later, I will have to wear a tie. The only way that I could not have to wear a tie is if I become rich enough that now it's just deemed eccentric. I think other people's... How does the world see ties? I think that the ties are seen as a symbol of respect that I wear in formal situations. So I think it's seen as it's showing your respect. Showing your respect by taking an extra minute, or 5 in my case, to tie this piece of fabric around my neck to just say non-verbally, I respect what is happening here. I am not the one with authority. That is what the tie is. It makes me never want to wear a tie again. Maybe that's really, at the end of the day, the way I protest wrongs that I'm seeing, is that I show up without wearing a tie. And that's enough. That's not nearly enough. It's a way of showing respect. I see it as a way of saying, yes, I'm going to continue not trying to grab your power. You can manipulate me. This tie is a white flag. I give you permission to continue to tell me what to do. Oh, the Burbank taco truck. Does that mean it's the only taco truck in Burbank? Is there a taco truck that is a Burbank taco truck? versus the definitive Burbank taco truck. Need to get gas soon. Is this somebody changing subjects and not talking about ties anymore? It could well be. It could well be. I just think they're uncomfortable. I will admit, though, that when I'm wearing a suit and tie and I catch myself in the mirror, in the past, on occasion, I've said, "You look good." But there again, why? Why do I think that? I think it's because the suit, because of the shoulder pads and the coat, and the tie being a very angular, symmetrical shape, I look like I'm more symmetrical than I am when I wear the suit. So the suit, by putting on a suit, I'm allowing you to pretend that I look better than I do. I'm giving you the opportunity to imagine what it would be like if I had a body. That's what the suit is. And that's the purpose. That's another purpose of the tie. Here's the question: do I risk trying to find a spot in the parking lot that I know man, that's how boring this is. I know I've talked about this before on this podcast. This entire podcast has been done before. The purpose of I'm trying to work this out for a bit on ties. Because every time I get up on stage and I go into the bit on ties, everyone shuts down a little bit. Because I get it becomes a social commentary, which is not so much funny as it is painfully true. Ties, man. Not a fan of them. I need to find the logical connection, the thing that really would get people on my side on this. Although I feel like people are on my side on this. I don't think anyone wants to wear a tie. Even the people who really, really like wearing ties. I don't think it's because they will like wearing ties. I think it's because something bad happened to them in their childhood. And as a result, they now operate under the notion that ties will provide happiness. Dalai Lama, you ever seen him wear a tie? I might have seen him wear a tie once. Normally, in his normal street clothes, does not wear a tie. What does that tell you? He's trying to achieve enlightenment. Why would he wear a tie? This might have been a grave... Oh, wait. I sense a spot. Is that a spot? My God, it is a spot. It is a spot. What is this person doing? Why is this person doing this? I actually found a spot. That means that something's tanking at the box office. Something else I've discussed at length on this podcast. All right, well, I don't know if I figured out the tie thing just yet, but I will.